Hello, Kin 205. My name is Jasmine Corona, and the skill I've selected for the movement analysis is the deadlift. Before the demonstration, I'd like to give a brief description on the exercise. The deadlift is known as a compound exercise, meaning full body engagement is needed and is best for overall strength development. As you can see in the visual of deadlift anatomy, larger muscles of the arms and legs are being utilized. Since there is various engaged muscles to cover, let's focus on the major muscles starting from the shoulder, ending with the ankle. Although the deadlift leans more towards the lower body exercise, muscles in the arms such as deltoids, triceps, biceps brachii, and inconius become concentric when lifting the bar off the ground. Here you can see them from the preparatory phase to the execution phase. My delts remain concentric, starting in horizontal adduction and end depressed and flexed. Right before the follow-through phase, the muscles and joints to focus on would be located at the hips. A brief hip hinge will stretch the hamstrings and engage the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. Here's a short training clip as an example.
Hips. Good. Hips. Very good. And hips. Down.
As we pull, we also want to push the weight off the ground. Although we have our feet in a neutral position, the ankle movement we would use is dorsiflexion. In order to create a floor pressing movement, which activates muscles such as gastrocnemius and soleus. Let's not forget the trunk muscles. Deadlifting engages the core muscles, including the transverse abdominis, internal and external obliques, and erector spinae. These muscles stabilize the spine to prevent hyperextension. It is important to brace these muscles as they dictate our posture for the exercise and disallow an arched back, which can cause injury while lifting heavier weight. From start to finish, this can be fixed by pulling back the shoulders into retraction and straightening the spine, which requires the erector spinae. During the first pull, the muscles that would be concentric include the quadriceps and the glutes. Depressing the shoulders in a deadlift activates the lats and promotes a normal spinal extension. The finish should be an upright position as shown. On the following video, I will break down the deadlift into 3 phases. Static start, which is the preparatory phase. Pull, ending with the lockout, which is the execution phase. And lastly, the descent, which is the follow-through phase. To set our stance, we're going to put our feet directly below our hips, making sure that our feet are shoulder width apart. Once we have our stance, we're going to set our grip just outside of our hips. You can use an alternate grip or a hook grip as I did here. We move on to the pull. This is where we start full body tension before we initiate the follow-through. We do that by pulling on the slack without lifting the weight off the floor until you hear this click. To follow, we're going to brace our core as hard as possible using our obliques and back muscles for stability. This is also a major component to prevent injury. Here we move on to the execution phase, rising the bar off the ground by pulling our hips down as we pull our chest up. When rising, we want to push with our legs until we reach our knees and finish with our hips. While finishing with our hips, we want to squeeze our glutes together and keep our shoulders screwed in. To complete the exercise, we want to follow through by lowering the bar back to the floor, the same way we started, in reverse. If done correctly, your shoulders should remain screwed in throughout the entire movement, which should look like this. The entire movement will go stance, grip, brace the core, pull the slack, push with the legs, and finish with the hips. Thanks for watching. Hope this video movement analysis video helps as a tutorial for the conventional deadlift.